This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news of the business of podcasting. Brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Tom Webster. Here's what you need to know for today, Thursday, October 19th. Confused about video? The listeners aren't. And that's an article that I wrote on this week's Sounds Profitable about a hot button topic, the definition of the word podcast, now that YouTube is the biggest platform for podcast discovery. While the modern definition of a podcast is often debated online, surveyed podcast listeners pretty clearly know what it is. Of those familiar with podcasts surveyed for the podcast landscape, 30% expect a podcast to be audio only, and a further 37% expect it to usually be audio only with some video. I propose a mind shift away from focusing on YouTube's popularly shifting what counts as a podcast, and instead thinking about YouTube as a place to promote a podcaster instead of a place to promote a podcast. A new study from GWI, Meet the Millennials, focuses on social media, entertainment, and purchase journey trends of interview respondents aged 16 to 64, with a special focus on millennials for this study. According to the GWI core data from Q1 of this year, surveying over 241,000 respondents, 16 to 64, 36% of millennial respondents listen to podcasts, an average out to 1 hour and 2 minutes of podcast consumption every day. The least represented group is baby boomers, with only 5% listening to podcasts, but those who do still have a healthy appetite with over a half an hour daily in listen time. In Digiday, publishers pitch their methods for growing and engaging audiences to marketers. Several publishing executives from media companies demonstrated their ability to grow and engage audiences during this month's Advertising Week event in New York. Betches Media CRO David Spiegel spoke to the importance of investing in the work and time necessary to build a solid audience. The U.S. spinoff of The Sun, launched in 2020, reported 100% growth year over year with 40 million unique visitors since 2022 after focusing on increasing coverage of women. Their audience is now reportedly 60% women, 40% aged 35 to 54. Targeting underserved niche audiences works, especially when you're producing authentic content for them, and niche content for niche audiences is one of podcasting's many special abilities. Once more from Advertising Week, Omnicom Media Group's Council on Accountability and Standards in Advertising, or CASA, has set its sights on both the buying and selling sides of programmatic advertising. The council's goal is to encourage both sides working together, currently working with 6 major supply-side platforms to align common interests. OMG is also bringing CASA's methodology to connected TV, having recently partnered with NBC Universal to deliver program-level reporting at scale. The deal is the biggest rollout of CASA's CTV standards yet. In addition, major streaming players like Netflix, Disney, AMC, Fox, Paramount, and Warner Bros. Discovery have signed on to CASA's CTV initiative. And from AdExchanger, TV measurement is transforming, but buyers need more transparency. TV measurement is going through an evolution as the growth of programmatic advertising has led to a shift towards audience-based impressions instead of the incumbent industry standard of panel-based ratings. According to speakers at AdExchanger's Programmatic I/O conference this Monday, though, there's still some roadblocks to TV's bright programmatic future. Chief among these is a lack of transparency as publishers keep first-party data to themselves. NBC Universal's EVP of Measurement and Impact, Kelly Abkarian, stressed more transparency is needed for responsible media buying, and that the connected TV industry's publishers need to usher in change and not fear it. As for the rest of the news, writer Will Page expresses concern that many authors still don't know how Spotify's royalty structure works for audiobooks, and Edison Research's share of ear for in-car listening shows AM/FM radio consumption drops by 21 percentage points for respondents whose primary vehicle has Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The download is written and produced by Brian Barletta, Gavin Gaddis, and me. This episode is hosted on Art19. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Tom Webster. Download us again tomorrow.